All right, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 21, special Labor Day edition, because we got nothing going on today. So I'm here with the usual suspects, the Wander and Ernie. Everyone say hello to the crew.
Hello. Glad to have you with us.
All right, so we're going to get started here with, it's coming towards the end of the summer. I think today is like not the official end of the summer, but it kind of like winds down
Feels
the
that
summer
way.
After Labor Day. So with all the partying and everyone off today, hopefully everyone's joining the barbecues and whatnot. I know I'm not, but at least most of you are out there and having a few drinks for us and everything like that. But I was on vacation a few weeks ago in the Bahamas, like we talked about a few weeks ago, and my Ryan's rant for today is I want to know why people wear boxers under bathing suits.
That's a weird one.
Silliest thing in the world.
That's a weird one, but I feel like that's been around for a long time. Like I remember that since I was like a teenager.
Really, that long ago?
Yeah.
See, I never picked up on it back then. I picked up on it probably like a few years ago, and I always thought to myself,
maybe they're never nudes. You know, like they don't want to be naked.
Well, boxers in particular, or like the boxer briefs, the like spandexy ones. Probably like the boxer briefs. I'm not sure because I'm not telling them to pull down their bathing suit for me to check it out. But whatever it is, it's weird. Like you buy a bathing suit, it normally comes with like the netting and all that stuff. And I'm like, but nowadays a lot of these bathing suits don't have one.
That's true.
Those are board shorts though. Like that's not a bathing suit technically. Like it's the material of a bathing suit, but I don't know what they actually use board shorts for. Maybe it's for like surfing or something like that, or like your boogie boarding. Like I'm not too sure about it.
I think we need a shorts guy or something to explain this to us.
We need like someone in fashion that tells us what the hell's going on.
I'm not opposed to some boxer briefs underneath my bathing suit, keep my junk in place.
Okay, all right.
And then getting out of the water.
Fair argument.
But that's what the whole point of the netting in there is for.
Well, but he just said not all of them have the net.
Doesn't have a netting inside of it, so
I don't know. All I'm saying is it's weird.
So if it does, so what you're saying is if it doesn't have a net to you, you don't think it's a bathing suit.
Correct. It's like some kind of other pair of shorts or whatever. Like, and to take it a step further, sometimes I see guys with boxers or boxer briefs on, and they're wearing like those basketball shorts and go in the water with. Like that's kind of drag you down a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that's like working with what you got. I think.
But it's like saying I'm going to go into the water with denim shorts or something like that.
I mean, I think it's more acceptable than denim.
100%. There's nothing heavier than denim. You'll sink if you pretty much wear denim. But I mean, I guess I was just using a little sarcasm there and just trying to say, like, to me, this whole bathing suit, boxers under the bathing suit is a little ridiculous to me.
Yeah, you're not feeling it.
Yeah, just get a bathing suit, dude. What's going on? Do girls wear like a bra and panties under their bathing suit? No.
I hope not.
No, I hope not either. That's weird as well. I mean, I've never seen it. I'm just like
hypothetically.
Right, exactly. But I don't know. That was my first quick rant for today. The next one is I want to know what the hell Spectrum's doing right now, or Disney, or both of them, because I turned on the TV the other day.
This is your cable provider?
Yes. Anyone that has Spectrum now should know, if you haven't paid attention, that anything Disney owned is off Spectrum right now, which is probably like 10 channels.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's huge. You have Channel 7, the Disney channels, ESPN.
Disney has, their hands in a lot of pots. They pretty much own a lot of stuff.
Why isn't Fox cut out?
I don't think they do, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, maybe they own some. I don't know. Whatever the case may be, it's absolutely ridiculous that you pay hundreds of dollars in cable, and they have the nerve, either side, I don't care, they're both at fault, Disney and Spectrum, to cut your channels so that you can't watch certain things. And I come home yesterday after golf, just wanted to turn on the Yankee game, and I couldn't get it. Then I go to the ESPN app because I'm a Disney bundle, like Disney Plus bundle guy, so I have Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. And I go to watch the Yankee game on there because I can't watch it on my cable, and I couldn't even watch it on there for some reason. I couldn't figure out. By then I just gave up, and then I watched another show, and I'm like,
yeah.
What the hell is going on?
That's colder than Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen head.
Is it his head or is it just his whole body?
I think it's just his head. I think it's just his head.
So what are they gonna do? Unfreeze it and then they're just gonna roll his head around the ground or something?
Yeah, and put them in a robot.
body?
Yeah, there you
He's
go.
like half RoboCop.
Like RoboCop. Yeah, like we were watching last week.
But like I don't get it. Like why are these guys so greedy? They make a ton of money as it is. Give the people what they want. Let them watch. Let them watch what they want to watch. Like why are you cutting out all these channels? You know. Eventually, Spectrum's gonna get screwed, or all these cable companies get screwed, and no one's gonna purchase them, and they're gonna go out of business. And this is one of the reasons why.
Yeah, I think we've alluded to it before, but cable I feel like is on its way out, and they do a lot of desperate things that are wrong and are greedy, and you alienate your customers that way.
But they're still thriving though. Like they still got a lot of customers for whatever reason. Maybe because streaming hasn't caught up to the whole cable thing yet, where like it's like cable is still out there and it's still popular.
Well, I think what's cable's clinging to is probably the package deal that everyone has with the phone and the internet.
Yeah, you might be right, like the triple play kind of
There,
thing.
there you go.
I used to have that, but it's too much. $250.
Yeah, there's paywalls everywhere, and there's only more to come.
Yeah, 100%. Ernie, what cable you got? You got Spectrum or you got Verizon?
Spectrum.
So you have the same problem.
Yeah, I don't use my cable all that much.
Oh, all right.
You're more of
I
a
haven't been
streamer.
Streaming,
Yeah,
so
you're more
I
of a
did
streamer,
stream ESPN still, so I didn't miss anything there.
No, when you stream ESPN, like, because I had trouble with the game yesterday, I couldn't get on because it said like location. It said something stupid. I'm like, what? But I'm signed in with my bundle.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I have mine tied into another account that's not on Spectrum.
Right, but I didn't think I did either. I had it linked into my bundle, which is why I thought it was weird. I couldn't watch the Yankee game.
No, because it's still tied into your provider, which is Spectrum.
Oh, right.
Right.
The Disney Plus and Hulu isn't. I have one code for all three. That's what I'm saying. It has
And
nothing
the
to
other
do-
two worked?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Spectrum, which I found.
No,
weird.
but
Was it blacked out or something? Maybe.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know. Either which way, they screwed me yesterday. I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that morning show?
Yes.
It's good. It's coming back, huh?
I know.
It's
next
good?
Week. Excellent.
Okay, I'll have to check that one.
Very, 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 very.
Just caught the ad.
excellent.
I've never watched it.
Oh, very, very good show.
Who's in it?
Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell.
Is it
Very
kind of
good
like
cast.
is it like Newsroom kind of?
I never watched Newsroom.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's basically like a show based on like a Good Morning America,
Right.
And then all the behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, right?
Oh,
Okay,
I'm
so
not-
definitely similar premise.
It's very cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. So, because I couldn't watch the Yankee game last night,
Right.
I was forced to watch highlights on the MLB app, which I'm
So
guessing-
I'm sorry to cut you off here. So you couldn't watch it on regular ESPN?
Nope.
That's insane. But go on.
couldn't watch it anywhere, which is what pissed me off. So they better figure this out. Oh, before I move on, anyone that has Spectrum, I called them today. And
How'd
for
that
each-
go?
For each not well, but for each month that they don't have the Disney channels, they're gonna give you a $15 discount supposedly. So if you don't get it next month for September, call up and demand it. Anyone out there that's watching that has Spectrum, I was told that that's what they're gonna do for everybody right now, which isn't much, but it's better than nothing, right?
Yeah, and that's it's nice of you to share that.
Yeah. So I wanted watching the Yankees highlights. So over the weekend, we lost, or at least for the Yankees, we lost Harrison Bader to the Reds. They put him on waivers. I kind of don't understand why they did that, but then all of a sudden they wound up bringing up the new batch of baby bombers, I guess if you want to call them. And they brought up the Martian, Jason Dominguez, and they brought up Austin Wells, who's one of their top prospects for catcher.
So the Martian's been hot.
Yeah, so Friday he winds up hitting a home run, and yesterday he winds up hitting a home run. And yesterday was they were both big home runs, obviously, but yesterday wound up being a good home run for them because there was a tie game and it wound up separating them a little bit. And then the Yankees got the offense going late, and they wound up sweeping the Astros, which they haven't done
Wow.
in 10 years. Now, go figure they've done that while they're having a crappy season. Now they choose or decide they want to play baseball and beat the Houston Astros for once and sweep them. So who the hell knows with that, right? So they lost Harrison Bader, I guess, for that, and I guess the consensus is he's gone for good. I would agree with that. Other people say that they might still sign him next year. I guess it all depends on what their game plan is next year. Like if they're going for Cody Bellinger, if he doesn't sign with us because he's too much money, maybe they bring Bader back cheaper.
That would be, I think Bellinger would be awesome. Still young. He's having a really good bounce back season.
Yeah, but do you think he could sustain that? See, like that was my next thing I was going to say.
That's
I'm
the guy
not a
from
fan.
Texas.
No, he's on the Cubs. He was the guy on the Dodgers that was like.
Oh, right. I'm thinking of Corey Seager.
I think would be definitely worth the risk. In my opinion.
But what are you signing him to? Give me some numbers in years, because I'll tell you right now, with his
7
track record,
years.
no, yeah, I'm not even close to that. I wouldn't even do that. I would go a much cheaper option because I'll be honest with you, as good as he's having a year, and he's having a damn good year. So, he's another guy like Aaron Judge that was not on a 1-year deal like Judge was on a 1-year deal, but his last year he has a monster year to get paid, which is fine, right? And even Judge this year, if he didn't get hurt, he's got 31 home runs. I think he's 4th in the American League in home runs, and he missed like
shit ton
he
of
missed
time.
like I think it was like 10 weeks. So he missed a ton of time over 2 months. So just imagine where he'd be with 2 months extra, and imagine where the Yankees would be, because not that they did any better once he came back, but now everyone's like settling in, this, that, and the other, whatever, right? So the only difference is Cody Bellinger the last 2 or 3 years hasn't done much when he was with the Dodgers. So I'm afraid that he's just having a big year, then he's going to fall back into it, hit 240, maybe hit for power, especially in Yankee Stadium. Like if the Yankees brought him here, he'd probably hit 30 home runs, which is fine. But like I personally need guys that are going to hit for contact and average, like move runners.
He's hitting
This year.
20 this year?
Yeah, this year. But I'm just worried that he's going to be like another one of these Joey Gallows or someone like that, where he's going to come over here, then think he could just hit home runs off the short porch and his batting average goes out. Even Mark Teixeira. Mark Teixeira came here, Jason Giambi, lefties. They were power hitter, but they were average guys too in their respective old ballparks in Texas, Atlanta, and Oakland, and they were hitting 330 plus. And then they come here, automatically it dips down. Now, some say it was from the shift, but the shift didn't start right away for these guys. I think they just got like in their head that they could hit 50 home runs, and they just kept trying for that and lost the fact that you can get base hits and doubles and bring in runners all the time. I don't want that anymore. Like the Yankees have been like that for 5 years now. We've gotten nowhere with it.
I mean, assuming that for the rest of the season, Dominguez pans out, and he seems in line to be our opening day center fielder. I mean, how opposed to Bellinger in left and Dominguez in center and Judge in right would you be?
I wouldn't be, right? But at the same time, like this whole Bader thing has got me scratching my head, because they traded him for Montgomery, and it's not even a year later, and they give up on the guy. And he wasn't their worst problem. Like he still was hitting 250 something, not a lot of power, 7 or 8 home runs, and like around 40 RBIs. But the whole team sucked this year. Like I don't think he's the one.
And he wanted to be there.
Right. And did you see his interview?
And he's a homegrown, homegrown in the sense that he's from New York, he's
Right.
from the area.
Yeah. He's not far. I think it's like Bronxville or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not. He's in the city pretty much. But I saw his interview the other day when he found out he was sent to the Reds, and they were asking him all these questions, and he got emotional, like a little teary-eyed or whatever. And his interview as a whole was very respectful and very good, which is made me like him even more. I'm like, I liked him beforehand. Gold Glove center fielder. You know what you're gonna get from him at the plate. Matter of fact, in the playoffs, he was one of the few guys that was hitting the ball. And what do we say all the time? Like, the playoffs is all that matters. So who cares what he does during the season? If he can hit the ball in the playoffs, that's a guy you want to keep. And I don't think he's gonna like warrant a ton of money. Like Benintendi this past year got a 3 or 4 year deal, $15 million a year, and we're all like, why couldn't we give him that? And maybe he didn't want to be here, whatever. That's fine. But you knew Bader wanted to be here. You knew he was gonna like leave it all out on the field. He's a tough guy. He's going to be stealing bases. He's going to do whatever he can when he gets on base. That's a guy I want playing on my team.
Yeah. The only thing that I don't get is if they're going to release him, I'm sure they could have gotten something for him at the trade deadline. So why didn't you just trade him?
Correct, and he kind of was last minute on the trade deadline. Well, if you knew down the road you were going to just put him on waivers and to what, save a couple $1 million? This is the Yankees. Like, they shouldn't be doing stuff on the cheap. If you want to get rid of him and you knew you were going to bring up Dominguez at some point this year, then trade and get something back for him. Almost anything would be good.
Yeah.
Some minor leaguers, some bullpen help, because you always need to rotate bullpen guys, because one guy, one year he'll be good, the next year he'll be trash. So get something for him. I agree with you there. And the likelihood of us signing him back is highly unlikely, because you wouldn't put him on waivers just for 2 months later, make him a deal to come back. It doesn't make sense to me, because you would just kept him.
Yeah, because there's a chance that other teams are going to want him next year anyway. So it's not.
Agreed.
It's not like they're going to be the only ones that are after.
Agreed. And not only that, you don't put him on waivers and get nothing for him just to bring him back 2 months later. And if you want to use the argument that, you had to play the Martian in center field, then you just move Bader to left. We don't have a left fielder anyway. It's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you could have, he's so good in center, you could have done what you used to do to Brett Gardner. Move him into left when you had Aaron Hicks playing center field and he was the better center fielder at the time.
Unless they just didn't have the roster spots to do that.
I would,
Because they brought up, what they bring up? They brought up the 3 guys, right?
they brought up him, Wells, and that other guy that's playing left field now that they brought up before they
A couple of days before.
But you're telling me you couldn't left one of those guys down, pretty much the left fielder that, I'm glad he's got a couple hits, but I haven't seen anything from him that's outstanding yet. Like, he could have started off next year, if anything, like playing in spring training, fighting for a job and whatever. I mean, I guess the only way they sign him back is if they strike out with Cody Bellinger or whatever plans they do have him left. But we haven't had a legit left fielder in like 3 or 4 years now.
I mean, me personally, I'd like to see Bellinger. He's young.
How young is he? I don't think
He's 27.
He's only 27.
Yeah, I heard that today.
Yeah,
so
he is young. He is young.
He's a young dude. My question is did Sterling do the series against Houston?
So I knew it. I thought the same thing, and I was unfortunately for me, I was listening to it on the radio on Sunday, and I think on Friday too for a minute, and neither day was him, so I knew he wasn't there.
Okay.
And he's normally not there on most road trips.
Right.
He picks and chooses now what he wants to do. But yeah, I would have loved to hear his curtain call.
So we're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait sometime this week because they're back home. I think they're playing Detroit tomorrow for 3 games, and then somebody else, the Brewers after that. So hopefully he stays hot, and he's a switch hitter, so he's got the short porch. Maybe he knocks one out, and we get to hear it because I'll tell you, the radio loves putting his calls on the radio. So even if you don't catch it on the game listening to it, you'll catch it listening to the radio the next day. So
That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's got to be something like, "It's a moonshot from the Martian," or something like that.
That's a good one.
What I thought
That's
the
a good
other
one.
day.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
Like, zoom, boom to the moon, the Martian goes deep. Who knows? I don't know.
Or you could, you could always go to Mars.
Right. All the way to Mars and back. The Martian does it again. I don't know. There's a bunch. I'm sure they'll come up with something sick. I don't know.
I'm sure John's got one in the chamber for sure.
Yeah, I'm more interested in Austin Wells' one because what are you going to do? Because we used to have Vernon Wells on the team, so I forgot what they did for him.
Is that his son?
Didn't Austin Wells have the game-winning hit yesterday?
No, they won 6-1. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. That might have been on Saturday because they won 5-4, but I don't know.
I don't know why I thought I heard.
Yeah. But anyway, to be honest with you, me looking at this team now with all these young guys, I'm more interested in what Austin Wells is going to be doing. First off, I love his mustache. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Like,
very good mustache.
Yeah, if he hangs it down a little lower, he'd look like Don Mattingly reborn. Like just a little bit more under the lip, he'd be Don Mattingly. But he's a big catcher. I think he's like 6'3".
I listen. When it's all said and done, we wouldn't mind seeing a good hitting catcher for the first time in a very long time. I think they said that he is not naturally a catcher, so his his defensive abilities still lack a little.
less to be desired.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't know if he's hasn't been a full time. I thought he came up as a catcher even in college. He didn't hone his craft yet, but he threw out a guy the other day, gunned him out at second. But then again, I don't care. Catch the ball, throw the ball. If you're if you're like somewhat Gary Sanchez like with like blocking the balls, like you could learn that. He's young enough where
Yeah, I mean, listen,
gonna do that.
we went through how many years of Jorge Posada being a below average defensive catcher, right? But we did just fine with that. So
Plus, if you ask me, he wasn't really that bad defensively. Like he threw out guys at a 38% clip, which is above average for baseball for the catchers, right? And then he still was able to frame the balls and block the balls behind the plate. So, I really don't care. If you get a stud catcher that can hit, there's almost nothing better than that. Because around baseball, catchers don't normally hit outside of like 2 or 3 guys. Like I can't even think of anyone besides JT Realmuto and who's the guy in Kansas City? Salvador Perez. And he's getting older. And there's probably 1 or 2 other ones that can hit.
Oh, what about the guy on Toronto?
His name escapes me, but yeah.
He's a power hitter.
Yeah. But like overall, like
and he's a big dude too.
Yeah,
like
he is stocky, right?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about. I forget his name, but like Ernie said, like Posada was like an angry catcher, hit for power, hit for average, did his thing behind the plate. Like remember, he was catching Andy Pettit, all these guys. Bless you.
bless you.
He was catching all these guys, and we haven't had that in a while. The last time we had that was Gary Sanchez when he came up in the middle of the year when we got rid of Alex Rodriguez, and him and Judge came up, and he almost won Rookie of the Year in 60 games. But after that, he went downhill.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm more interested in Austin Wells. If he could sustain just hitting the ball, that's huge at the bottom of the line.
Yeah.
Huge.
And he's still,
Young.
He's still relatively young. I know I think he's 24, so he's a bit on the older side as far as guys coming up. But
Yeah, but if you could get 6 years of him as a catcher
oh yeah, shit, we'll take
and
it.
hitting well, and I'm not even talking well like Posada because like you don't really see that anymore. But if he's hitting like 250, putting up 20-something home runs, 70, 80 RBIs, that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at Trevino last year when he was an All-Star. He had just over 300, had like 10 or 12 home runs, 40 RBIs, and he was an All-Star. 40, 50 RBIs, right? But I also heard that they have him practice first base as well.
Yeah.
Which means it doesn't mean much now, but I guess maybe when his legs fall out under him as a catcher, you could transition him to first, which means you have Rizzo for another year or two. Like you don't know what you're gonna get from him. Like this whole concussion thing is weird, right? But then if you have him for another year or two, then maybe you get a stopgap of another first baseman that's like not older, but like decent age where you're only gonna have him for 2-3 more years, and then Austin Wells can fill in for first base and fit in like like almost like a Yogi Berra type. You know what I mean? Like play first, extend his career,
And then
still hitting.
getting back to Bellinger, even more reason why he's an attractive piece. Because did I hear correctly that he plays first base as well?
I think
Is he outfield?
I think he did with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing that with the Cubs. But yeah, I mean, I think from our perspective, he wouldn't really play first base. Like I said, back to him, I wouldn't give him a 7-year deal. I'd give him
grab a
a
tissue.
3-year deal with an option, and
Yeah, but I mean, what we want to do and what you need to do to get a guy are 2 different things. Because there's definitely going to be someone that's going to give, a 27-year-old a 7-8 year contract. Coming off of a 320 season with 30 plus home runs and 100 plus RBIs.
You think he's gonna get 100 RBIs? I don't know what he's at right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's at around.
Okay, so he'll be close enough, I guess, by the end of the year. He's got like 20-something games left. But I don't know. I have it on good authority from a source in the Yankees organization that they're looking to trade for Juan Soto for the last year of his contract. Now, how do you not put that guy on our team? He's a lefty.
Yeah, the only problem with him is that he
He's
has
young.
that year left, and they're going to want a haul for him.
Give him a haul. Tell him Dominguez and Volpe's off the table. Anyone else you want, you could have.
Okay, but let me ask you a question: if Dominguez finishes the season on the team, and he does well, you still going to be willing to part ways with him?
No, I'm saying leave Dominguez. You can't touch Dominguez and
Oh.
Volpe, but anyone else you want is on the
Gotcha.
table. I don't care if you want 5,
Yeah,
7,
but
9 guys. Like,
You don't think that those are pieces that they're going to want for him?
it doesn't matter. They're off the table. Like at some point, to me, right, the Padres are in a like uncomfortable position because they spent all this money, right, and they thought within the next 2 years with Soto they could get it into the playoffs and win a World Series, and they're not going to do it in the next 2 years, right? They made the playoffs last year, but they fizzled out. This year, I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs, right? So, at what point do you say, let's just get the best package we can for them, and then we'll go from there because they still have other pieces. Like they still have Machado, they still have Bogarts. Like they can still retool, and in a year or two, be right back in the mix. And you got to remember, at this point, they're not going to sign Soto because he's going to want $500 million, just like Ohtani. Now, you could go. The Yankees could go the Ohtani route, and I'm tired of them crying poverty. Like I know the Yankees spend a lot of money as it is, so I'm not mad at them for that. But at some point, you got to kick it into gear and be like, listen, this year was a disaster. We can't have that next year. Go retool.
Yeah.
And I guess for my money, especially with Ohtani, he's kind of injury prone a lot too, almost like Judge. Yeah, it'd be great to have him on our team, but how many more years do you think he's really going to be pitching in DH? And I know he can play the outfield, but he hasn't been playing the outfield. So at what point, if you stick him back out there, he's almost going to be like, Giancarlo Stanton, even though he's not bad in the outfield, but he's not going to go in the outfield. So you're going to have the same problem, even if you got rid of Stanton tomorrow, right? Someone just said, I just want to pick him up. You put him on waivers, someone picks him up, takes a little money, which would never happen. But let's just say it happens, right? And you get Ohtani in here next year and pay him a ton of money. And then 2-3 years down the line, he's Stanton all over again. Then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't clog up the DH spot like that for 8 to 10 years. And you also got to remember, you think Judge is going to be playing his whole entire contract in right field? He might want to, but probably not.
Yeah.
You think 4 years from now, he's probably going to be a full-time DH. And if he's hitting bombs and hits how he's hitting now in DH, I'm fine with that. We're not getting that from Giancarlo Stanton right now. And, maybe I'd be okay with that for Ohtani, but I don't know if I'm going to pay another $400, $500 million for another guy to be on the team to do that, where I'll take a chance on Juan Soto next year to shore up the outfield.
Oh,
and
maybe you could get a package together that includes Stanton and pay a big chunk of his remaining salary and send him the Padres way for Soto with a couple of young chips.
Yeah, like a couple of promising young chips. That's not a bad idea, and especially because I don't know how much Juan Soto's really getting paid right now, but it's not going to be a ton of money until he's actually a free agent, which is after next year. But if you want to put all your eggs in one basket and just try and go for it next year, and he's a rental player, I wouldn't mind. That's actually a smart move in my mind. That's not a bad idea. Pay someone Giancarlo Stanton, take it a lot of extra money, whatever. They still get a big bat back. Maybe him being in the Padres might be, resurrect his career a little bit. Maybe they do different things with him, whatever. He doesn't get hurt as much. And then they get a bunch of little pieces to sustain their franchise a little bit, and we both win. And we get Soto for a year. And then you never know. Maybe we could sign him back. Who knows? I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone's really getting fired from the Yankees this year.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It makes no sense. Because
Hal seems like he's a pretty loyal guy and not too interested in making too many moves, right? As we saw at the trade deadline where they made no moves.
listen, I'd rather a GM try to make moves than a guy that doesn't make moves, right? So his biggest thing this year was he made no moves during the trade deadline. You want to hang him for that? I'm all about it. But every year he's always trying to make the team better. No GM is perfect. you're not ever going to have 100% good trade where every time you get someone back, they're great, especially in New York, because for whatever reason, people are scared to play in New York. It's all this head game or whatever. I sort of understand and I don't at the same time. I guess because we live in New York and we're just part of it. But guys coming from small markets and this, that, and the other, I guess I understand it. It's not always easy, which is another reason why I like Bader, because Bader seems to just fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, hometown guy, wanted to be here. To me, those are the kind of guys that you want. You know?
Yeah. And you gave up a good piece for him, which means basically you wasted Montgomery and Bader for no reason.
Yeah.
You know? Because Montgomery wasn't bad. He always 8 innings. He was never hurt. Sometimes he pitched good. He was almost like the Yankees' Jason DeGrom. He never got run support. So, you know, was it really always his fault? His ERA was always like mid-3s. That's not bad for a third star, let alone he was a fifth.
Yeah, and I guess it makes it all the more puzzling that, you know, they were so quick in a way to give up on him, where they kept Donaldson around for 3 years too long. It was
Yeah.
like,
It's awful. Like, you know, and like I said, at some point, can you blame the GM? Can you blame the manager? You can with certain things. Like I said, him not trading anybody at deadline, that's on cash. Boone, guys not hustling or guys being stupid on the base paths and making mental errors, terrible. That's on them. But the guys not hitting, not moving runners over, swinging at dumb stuff, making dumb errors in the field, that's on the ball players, man. And it all came together this year because there were years with Boone when we were in the playoffs and going to the ALCS and all that, where they had immaculate defense, they were running the bases well. Like, and I don't know what's happening now. So that's on the manager and the GM, but everything else is on the players.
Yeah.
When it's second and third or first and second, no outs, and you don't push a run in, that's on the ball players,
Yeah.
man.
but we know that it's always easier to blame the coach.
Of course it is. It's
the
New York.
manager.
If you're going to blame anybody, I want to hang the people that are in charge of the minor leagues. Whatever's going down in the minor leagues, if they're not teaching them how to run the bases, how to bunt, how to do this, how to move runners around, how to hit the ball the opposite way, shame on them. The director of the minor league should be canned and all his guys should be thrown out and get a whole new set of those guys, because those are the guys that we have, the Oswaldo Cabreras and the Perazzas and all those guys that are highly touted in our minor league systems that come up here and almost do nothing. But like, they resemble good ball players, but they just don't know how to do the simple things in baseball that little leaguers know how to do, is the main problem.
Yeah.
If they're better prepared, it's almost like a job or a test or anything like that. If someone prepares you the right way, they set you up for success.
Yeah, I mean, is it just the Yankees though, or is that a problem throughout the league nowadays?
That's an interesting question.
Things seem to have shifted as far as what's priority, what's not priority between the analytics and all this other nonsense that goes on and people are worried about.
I don't know. That's an interesting question, but that's something I don't care about. I only care about the Yankees and somewhat of the Mets because we're in New York, but mostly the Yankees. So whatever they're doing down there, they shouldn't be doing. Get rid of them. Find new people that know what they're doing, like Gene Stick Michaels used to do, which is where we got our core four and all these other people from, and do what you got to do. And then all we need is like little veteran pieces to like cement the team and win us a World Series, because you know what? We're tired of it.
Right. And Stick Michaels was just a savant, right?
He was a
So to
baseball
speak.
genius.
And I'm sure the last thing on their minds back in those days were analytics, right?
You know what? Who knows how far the analysts go back? It probably doesn't go back that far. But, I mean, I would like to think through the beginning of time, analytics was involved in baseball, because it's just all stats. So the stats that they wanted back in the 90s and the 80s is different from the 50s and 60s, which is different from now. So it was all stats. Everything's stats. But now it's just they make up these random stats and all this other stuff I probably just give people jobs to just run numbers all day long.
It's possible.
You know what I
It's
mean?
Possible, but it's
Like, no one cares about war. And then there's people that go all the way back to the beginning of baseball that are like, well, Babe Ruth had the best war of all time. Or,
right.
no one cared about back then. You know what we cared about? Batting average, home runs, RBIs.
And nowadays, what's the least important thing in people's eyes? Batting average.
Agreed, which is retarded to me because it directly correlates to your on base percentage, runs, and RBIs. Which, if there's anything that you really care about, it's runs and RBIs because that's how you win ball games, right? You have a 100 RBI season, you're doing great. You score 100 runs like Derek Jeter used to do it every year without sweating. You score a lot of runs, a lot of RBIs, you're gonna win a lot of ball games.
Right.
Especially the more people you have on your team that do that, you're gonna win more ball games.
Right.
This slugging percentage and velocity out to home run and arc angle, nobody cares. But the bums that actually do that work for MLB or for the individual teams, nobody. Fire those guys too because it's not working for the Yankees. Fire them all. They suck. Right? They suck. Where's analytics getting us? Under 500?
Yeah.
We're a playoff team. These are the same guys that went to the ALCS last year. So whatever they did from last year to this year, they suck. Whoever's behind that, I don't care who it is, they suck. And I'm hoping Hal, or at the very least, Brian Cashman knows who sucks, so they can fire him because it's ridiculous at this point.
Let's see. It's gonna be an interesting offseason.
Right. So let's switch gears now to what everyone else really cares about, and it's New York football.
Yeah.
And maybe Dallas football because Ernie and Wander are here. Wander's over here texting his ladies. I don't know what
I'm sorry, what's that?
he's zoned out for the last 20 minutes. I guess he's given up on baseball.
No, I
no big deal.
I don't have a lot to contribute to the Yanks current affairs.
We're going to football. Football starts this Thursday.
It's about time, right?
Right. We've been waiting for this for the last probably 6 weeks. It's here. In 3 days' time, we'll be somewhere watching football. Now, with that being said,
And my favorite day of the year, Sunday.
right, Sunday is a national holiday every week for the next 17, 18 weeks. It's going to be a good time this week.
Christmas in September, baby.
Right. Well, Christmas every week, every Sunday. But this weekend we have the Giants playing Dallas on the Sunday night game, and then we have the Jets and Buffalo for the Monday night game. I can't remember the last time we've had New York teams back-to-back on a Sunday night, Monday night, but this is going to be awesome. So excited for the season. I can't wait till Thursday just to watch football, right?
Yeah.
What's the game Thursday?
Chiefs Lions. So expect that to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah.
Neither one has really defense, especially week one.
Shootout.
It's going to probably be like 35-32, if not more. So if you play fantasy or you...
Goff is still the quarterback for the Lions?
Yes.
He had a decent year with them, right, last year?
Very good year.
Yeah.
Very good year.
Tell you what, his year last year was probably better than any other year he had.
He kind of looks like Ryan Gosling, no?
A little bit.
Right.
Sort of see it. A little bit. Ryan Gosling's still Ryan Gosling, though. But I'm excited. Like I can't wait for Sunday football. I hope we all go out Sunday football. I know some of our guys are going to the game.
Who's going to the game?
Paulie, Steve, for sure, and I'm sure some of
Nice.
their kids. I don't know if anyone else is, but I'm around Sunday to watch football. Normally we golf on Sundays. We're now moving into Saturdays.
Speaking of Paul, I think we should give a little special shout out to the Lim family because we got some good news today, I guess you could call it. Privileged news.
What was the good news?
That we've been invited to the Lim family fantasy football draft.
Oh, you're the other guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
I didn't know.
Cheers.
I got that message yesterday.
Oh, I got it today.
Yeah, so I didn't get the link yet. So hopefully they set that up before Wednesday because we have a draft. Wednesday, I have 2 drafts Wednesday. So you're the other one. You're back in the game. You're playing. This is great.
Yes.
That's your only team?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
he hasn't played in a while, so he's getting back into it with this, which is great. It's a simple $50 league. It's a family thing. So
Right. But you did the DraftKings last year, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
you know what's going
right,
on.
he
Yeah.
does. But he hasn't done like a year-long league.
He'll be fine.
Well, it's just more than the fantasy football and more than the draft. It's just the honor of being invited. Into the Lim family.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
Right. He literally took the words out of my mouth. Like they had a barbecue on Saturday to end out the summer, Labor Day weekend, whatever. And we found out that they're starting a family fantasy football league. And I made a little bit of fuss, which I probably shouldn't have, because I wanted.
You felt excluded.
Like I'm part of the family, so I'm like, why wouldn't I be invited to this fantasy football thing? Especially if it's $50, I'm in, right? And then the very next
They had to think it over.
Right. Well, it had to be discussed. It was like the table. Like
You're right. Sit down at the table. Yeah.
Discuss business.
Right.
So then I got a text from.
And you guys got the okay.
Yeah, Paul's daughter. Jenna,
Excellent.
gave me the text that I'm in. She said Ashley reached out and I got the okay. And
Nice.
I knew there was got to be another person because it was a 10-team league.
Is this the first year? First annual Lim
I don't know if
fantasy?
it was or not. We'd have to ask, but it doesn't matter. We both got invitations. We got red envelopes invitations to the Lim.
It's good luck. I think those are good luck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Chinese thing. It's good luck, money, but whatever. No money there. It was just an invitation, but maybe money down the road if we win. I just didn't know who the 12th person was. I knew I was the 11th because I got the text yesterday.
And now you know.
And now I know.
We did it live.
Big Ern McGurn is in.
The live reveal.
This is exciting.
For the Lim fantasy league.
It's exciting. It's good. Get the blood
LFL.
going.
What up?
Yeah, it's awesome. And
shout out to Paul and the Lim family.
Yeah, and thank you for the barbecue again. Great time. Everyone had a blast. I love his flank steak. It was phenomenal. Not for nothing. But so we're gonna do the fantasy. So with that in mind, like now we gotta brush up on our fantasy stuff, right? So like, have you been doing any research?
No.
Great. Good talk. Maybe you could discuss it with the Wanderer off the show.
Oh, Ernie, you got any questions? Throw them my way. I'm I like to do it just for fun now that I don't have to.
Do it week to week.
There you go.
We're just gonna work on the fly. I think we're just gonna work on the fly and just
see what
happy
sticks.
that we've been
chosen,
the privilege of
the chosen
being
ones.
part of this.
Good luck with that, pal. Basically, what he's saying is he's going to pick a lot of Dallas Cowboys, but that's going to be tough because Paul likes to pick a lot of Dallas Cowboys. In the other league I'm in with him, he's always trying to pick Dallas Cowboys. It's always Dak Prescott and Pollard and CeeDee Lamb, and if he misses out on one of them, he's taking the backups, and it's like, oh my God, enough. Oh, speaking of which, real quick. Who's the Dallas Cowboys tight end now? Because Schultz is gone. I think he's with like the Texans or somebody like that.
I know they drafted a tight end this year. A guy was pretty highly touted. So
that might be a guy you want to pick up because I remember last year I picked up Schultz, and Dak Prescott loves targeting his tight end. So we're gonna look into that. I know I'm going against you, but I gave you a little love right there, a little hint from last year. I will not be doing that the rest of the season, but because we're a couple days away from football, I'm feeling generous. So
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go.
Should we pick the games?
If you want to throw the games out there, I don't have them up. I just, I have my fantasy football team up. I'm looking at that right now. So I hate my team. But I always hate my team after the draft. I have some good guys, but I just hope they produce. I'm tired of getting these bums.
How many teams do you have?
Well, now I'm gonna have 3. I've only done one draft.
That's the magic number.
Yeah, I've only had one draft so far. That was last week, Wednesday. I had an AC, which was a blast. Shout out to all my deep stroke guys out there. It was a great time.
Deep what?
Drafting. Deep strokes.
That's the name of the league.
Yep. That's the name of the league.
Just check.
Yeah. Hidden agendas there. But we had a great time. We were at the Best Damn Sports Pub or Bar in Tropicana. They were awesome. They gave us whatever we wanted. They let us hang out as long as we wanted. It's like a bar with like coolers or buckets of 40s. It was wild. It was wild. We had a great time doing shots, drinking beers, drafting with all 12 of us. It was a good time. Atlantic City in a whole is a good time, even though it's like a little dilapidated, maybe? Yeah, like it's, I don't know, a lot of closed down stores and
some hard times.
Yeah, I guess after COVID, all that stuff happened. It's tough, but things happen. Hopefully, it comes back up. Some of the hotels are still nice. Obviously, like we stayed at Harris. Harris was good. They just recently renovated a lot of their rooms.
What was your favorite part of the weekend?
Well, I went there during the week, but my favorite part was the draft for sure. It's just a lot of fun. We took a bunch of pictures. We made fun of the winner and the loser because we had some asterisk involved because he won with the Buffalo Bills game or something like that. Like the one with when,
that happened to have a big outcome on my league too.
Yeah, it had a big effect on the outcome. So we were making fun of him. We bought him a nice orange shirt with an asterisk on it, so he wore it over under his championship belt that he had.
Right.
So it was good. Shout out to Manny for that. I still have your trophy here, so I didn't bring it, but had a lot to worry about. I had to bring all my golf stuff down there to golf in Atlantic City too. So.
Oh, you forgot to bring the trophy?
Yeah, the trophy's right over there still. So hopefully they come up this Sunday and he can take his trophy because otherwise he's going to be waiting a while. So I guess with that, let's go with
You want to pick the game? All right.
And then we'll discuss some guys that we want on our fantasy team.
Or you want to do that first?
No, go with it. We'll pick.
Okay.
We'll pick first.
We'll mix it up a little bit. All right. So who do you got for Thursday?
Chiefs, obviously.
Ernie?
I'm going to go Detroit.
Oh, we like it. We like upset city, baby. Detroit, Rock City. I'm going to go with Chiefs just because, I don't know. I'm just picking them.
Right. Yeah.
All right, next up we got Sunday, 1 o'clock. Bengals, Browns, a little division matchup there.
I'm going Bengals. Go Joe Burrows. He's my fantasy football quarterback.
There you go. There you go.
Ernie?
I think the Bengals take that one.
I'm going to go Browns just to go against the grain, I guess.
So you don't believe in it is what you're saying?
What's that?
You don't believe in it is what you're saying?
Believe in what?
The Browns actually winning. You're just going against the grain.
Yeah. So next up is did we all pick that game?
Yeah.
Next up is you sidetracked me there, Pug.
It's all right. It's all right.
Texans, Ravens at Ravens. Who do you got?
Ravens.
Yeah, I'll agree there. Who's Texans quarterback even?
I don't even know if they.
Well,
yeah.
that's not looking good for them. All right, next up.
Isn't it C.J. Stroud or something like that? Isn't that?
C.J. Stroud is. Didn't he go to the Panthers?
No, that's somebody else. That's Young.
Oh, right. Young from Alabama went to the Panthers, and C.J. Stroud went to the Texans. Right.
Good luck on fantasy this year. Anyway.
All right, next up we got the post Tom Brady Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Minnesota Vikings. Shout out to Mike Bemis. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Shout out to Mike. Bemis.
Yeah. I'm going to choose the Vikings on this one for sure.
Yeah, I think
it'll be closer than you think.
I think we're
this is a big
Vikings fan. Yeah.
We're all in agreement there.
Yep.
So the unanimous selection is the Vikings.
You don't want to go against the grain on that?
We're just doing, obviously, as you can tell, we're just doing straight up picks. We're not including spreads or anything like that. Maybe down the line we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll do spreads next week. Maybe we're just
freestyling.
Yeah, week one is kind of hairy. They only have 3 weeks of preseason, so we don't know who's going to do what and how everything's going to shake out yet. We'll wait a week or two before we do the spreads. We're not Vegas, so we're not going to worry about that this week.
All right.
Maybe next week we'll do where we come a little prepared and do a little work, and maybe we'll just do we'll do our 3 picks each.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
we can do that.
Track it for the season.
That's a good idea. And see who finishes in first place.
Maybe I like it.
Put some money on it.
I like it.
Just saying. Nothing crazy. Maybe like $20 or something like that. Just so we have a purpose. But anyway.
So the next game up is Panthers at Falcons.
Ooh, this is a good game. I like this game.
Sexy division matchup, perhaps.
And they're both kind of terrible.
The lesser of two wills.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
Okay. Who's their quarterback?
I have no idea.
I will go with. They're playing the Panthers, we said?
Yes, in Atlanta.
We'll go with the rookie and say the rookie's going to win. Panthers.
Really? On the road? Okay.
Who's their guy? Young?
Yeah, I don't
know.
Yeah,
Bryce Young from Alabama.
Oh, all right. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with the Panthers then.
All right.
Next up, we have Cardinals at Commanders.
Commanders all the way.
I agree.
Cardinals
no Kyler Murray.
Cardinals are a hot mess this year. They're going
for
one pick.
I think I agree. So we're unanimous on that one as well. All right, next up, Jaguars at Colts.
Oh, Jaguars all day.
Jaguars.
Yeah, I like the Jaguars there. Next up, Niners at Steelers.
Niners.
At Steelers.
I like the Niners
So
too.
they're in Pittsburgh.
They're in Steel City, baby.
I'm gonna go Steelers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
buddy.
Next up, we have Titans at Saints.
Titans.
Yeah. That's kind of like a coin flip for me, but I'll lean with Titans as well.
I'm gonna go Titans.
All right.
I'm just a Titan fan in general. I don't mean like the football team.
Right.
Raiders at Broncos. Shout out to Brady.
Broncos.
Ooh, I don't know if he's
They're
gonna
have a
like that one.
back-to-back season.
I like my Raiders, man.
Okay,
I like the Raiders.
I'm gonna go. I'm feeling Mile High. I'm gonna go Denver.
Yeah, all right. That's fair enough. I mean, I also think that's like a coin flip too because they're almost both like almost the same team. I mean, Russell Wilson sucked last year, so maybe he has a comeback this year. But Garoppolo's pretty steady as a quarterback until he gets hurt. So
Yeah.
The Raiders have a lot of weapons. So
Right.
It's going to be challenging. The only difference is Denver's at home, so I could see them winning it too. That's why it's a coin flip.
Okay, another sexy matchup right here. Eagles at Patriots.
Ooh.
4:25 Sunday.
Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, Hurts is my guy, so I'm gonna
They
ride
got
with
way
him.
too many weapons for the Patriots.
Next up, Rams at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I'm gonna go Rams, but we'll see.
Is Cooper Kupp playing? Because right now he's questionable. If he doesn't play, it's definitely Seahawks all day. The only
Right.
way you have a chance is
Right,
Cooper
you
Kupp
need your
plays.
best receiver out there, yeah. Okay, next up, Dolphins at Chargers. Shout out to Rory and Scott,
That
the
should
big
be a
Finns
good
fans.
game. That should be a good game.
Dolphins at Chargers.
Indeed.
Ooh, I'm gonna say Chargers, man.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Dolphins.
Okay, so we got 1-1. I think I'm gonna go Finns. I'm going Finns.
All right.
All right. Next up, we got the Packers of Green Bay post Aaron Rodgers with the Chicago Bears division matchup. What do you guys think?
Where are they playing?
In Chicago, I was gonna say Soldier Field, but it's not Soldier Field anymore. Somewhere
I'm gonna
else.
go Chicago.
I'm gonna go Packers.
I'm gonna go Chicago just for the Windy City,
All right.
Next up, we have this is a particular meaningful game locally and for fandom purposes of people on this pod. We have the Cowboys at the Giants Sunday night.
I'll let you guys know.
Cowboys.
I'm going Cowboys. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'm not a mush. What do you think, Ryan?
I'm going Giants, baby.
You bastard.
And I'll tell you why. It's been way too long. Dallas has been owning the Giants. I feel like this is their
Or
year
is
to
this,
finally
or is
beat the
this,
Dallas
or is
Cowboys.
this about Saquon and Jones throwing the pigskin around, with the kids?
Yeah, there could be a little bit of
Some
everything.
goodwill, yeah.
I just think like Dallas has owned the Giants for the last bunch of years. Like I feel like they haven't lost to the Giants in a while. I feel like this is if the Giants are going to win this year,
It has to start
it
now.
has to be this week because
Okay.
at least they're at home. So
All
I'm
right.
going to give them the edge. I'm going to say Giants.
Okay, and then we have one more game. You may have heard about this one. The New York Jets at home against the Buffalo Bills.
You
I
guys
think
are-
I know who you're gonna pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Bills. I think the Bills are a juggernaut. The Jets, I don't know what they are. We'll see what happens. Ernie, who you got?
I'm gonna go Jets. Let's go for the hometown Jets.
Okay.
That's my man right there. It's definitely going to be the Jets. It's the Jets' time. They got Ron as quarterback. They're going to do something crazy. They're going to be all over the place. That defense is going to be stunning in week one. It's going to be a lot closer game than we're going to think. It's going to be back and forth a lot. But I guarantee you right now, mark it here first. 2-minute warning in the fourth. Aaron Rodgers throws a touchdown. I don't know
Whoa.
to who.
Bold predictions.
I'm going to say it's probably
Bold
Wilson at the end of
statements.
the day, but I'm not going to just say it's him. It's going to be, either tied or they're going to be up by a couple or down by a couple, and he's going to march down the field like he would, and he's going to win that game. And they need to win this game because you don't want to start off 0-1. We've talked about this a few weeks ago, especially what we saw with Hard Knocks the last week. He's complaining about guys missing routes and off starts, whatever. And I love what he said to one of the Giants guys, where he's like, "I don't even know you, bro." Like the fire's there. He's gonna.
I did see that. That was funny.
Yeah, he's gonna hold people accountable. This is where you make the leap to be like you said, Wander. The Bills are a juggernaut. The way for you to become a juggernaut is to start beating these other really good teams, and it starts week one. Now, listen, if they lose, it's not going to be the biggest thing in the world because the Bills is not like it's not like they're a pushover, but you're at home. You win your home games. That's how you become a playoff team. Win your home games, and I think they're going to do it.
Well, hopefully for you and my dad's family, hopefully I put the kibosh on the Bills and the Jets will be victorious. So those are your NFL selections for week one.
Before we close out the show, I think we might have been bamboozled there, Pucks, because we just got the text for the invitation to the league, and when I clicked on it, it says no invitation for this.
Oh no! Oh no!
We take everything back that we said about you, and your steak was shit.
But seriously, before we close out, I think we should just touch upon last week. Getting to be guests on our friend Ashley's show. And,
yes.
And
great time.
We have to definitely give a shout out to
Ford Media.
Definitely.
Yes, Ford Media. Thank you for
Ford
having
Media
us.
on Instagram.
Thank you, Ashley, for having us. Thank you. It was a great time there. Yeah, I guess we really...
Jason, right? Jason from Ford Media.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Shout out to Jason.
Right. If it's not Jason, we apologize, but we're pretty sure. But anyway, we had a good time. I wish we could get some more stuff. We didn't really do any TVs and movies. You got a couple songs you want to throw out?
Yeah, I'll throw out the 3 music picks as always. I'll just fire these off before we depart. The first one is Flying Lotus and Smoke DZA with Flying Objects. Second one is Apollo Brown and Planet Asia, Broad Dayin'. And the third one is Real Bad Man in Blue with Bad News. So those are your picks for this week. And then I guess next week we'll get back into TV and film.
Couple last things to talk about real quick. The fantasy football picks. I really like Rashid White. Tampa Bay, I think he's going to step up this year. Try to get him as late as you can. Also, Tanks Bigsby on Jacksonville. He's backing up ETN right now, but they're going to do a split back, and I heard he's going to have a monster year towards the end of the year, so he might be a sneaky sleeper for you to win a league. Who else do we got? Normal people, but for right now, that's all I can think about. We'll get back to you next week with some guys after week one to touch upon that had maybe a good week one and might trend up. If you guys have any comments or anything like that, hit us up on Instagram or this YouTube about things that you guys are thinking about out there. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your Labor Day. It's back to almost fall. Summer's over, but we'll be here every week talking about all this other crazy stuff.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Peace, fam.
Always subscribe.
Enjoy.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Take care.
Later.